What's going on, y'all? This is Kuron J, and in this video I'm going to be doing a Q&A video. So I had one on Instagram like the other day, maybe a few days ago, and I went on my story and I pretty much asked everybody if they could participate in a Q&A setup that I put on my story. What's going on, y'all? This is Kuron J, and in this I wanted to get a little Instagram story feel for y'all today, but I would like to tell y'all that in my upcoming YouTube video, I would like to do a question and answer themed video. Mostly because I get comments in my YouTube videos already in regards to my hair care, sometimes my skin care. If you guys have any questions in regards to that, I would like to answer them. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just put up a question box right over there in the corner. If you guys would like to participate, I would really appreciate it. So yeah, it could be about anything. Yeah, so that's it. So pretty much you guys could go up there and ask me some questions, because I do notice that I get certain questions on my comments, but it's actually pretty difficult in order for me to keep track of all the comments that I get. And sometimes there are a lot of comments that kind of do get re-asked a lot. And I find myself answering the same questions pretty much recurrently. So I think this video is going to be a nice video to kind of just get some questions answered so people can kind of maybe refer to this video. I think I got a total of like 12 questions, so it's really not that many. I'm just going to pull them up on my laptop because my phone is occupied at the moment. I'm not going to do it in a particular order. I'm just going to scroll through. Well, I'm gonna pretty much do all of them, so it don't really matter what order I choose, but I guess I'm gonna do it from whatever I'm seeing first, and then I'll go accordingly to the last one that I see. So the first one says, what type of music you listen to? Give some song suggestions. I listen to pretty much every type of genre of music possible. I really don't even really have a limit to the genres of music. I should say. I listen to mostly, I like R&B, I like hip hop, I like pop, I really like a lot of stuff, like country, like even country, like I like all genres of music. So I like gospel, I listen to a lot of gospel. So as far as song suggestions, I would probably have to know what kind of music you like first before I give you some song suggestions. But yeah, I might have to know a little bit more in depth of what you really want to hear, because I have like a lot of genres that I listen to. So I don't even know. Should I really give you a song suggestion? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next one though. What made you want to grow your hair? Inspiration? Question mark. Okay, so it's funny how it actually initially started. I first actually started growing out my hair when there was this one time I actually messed up on my hairline, because there was this one time where I went to the barber shop, and then the barber kind of just, you know, did my lineup and cut my hair and everything. So a couple days came by and I wanted to kind of freshen up the lineup. So pretty much what ended up happening was I took a razor, one of the razors that you'll pretty much see in the shower, the ones that women use to shave. I just saw one of those in the bathroom, so I thought that I could just kind of just, you know, shape up the area, shape up the lineup, or, you know, make it look, you know, neat again, because it was kind of growing back in a little bit. And it really wasn't growing back in that much. It was just, I was just really trying to just do something. Yeah, I pretty much tried to shape it back up or shape it up some, and I pretty much nicked the whole corner of my hair, like right there. And I kind of just made it, you know, kind of like, it was pretty much just not there. So the hairline pretty much was going like that. So pretty much that was like the time where I was like, all right, I'm gonna just like not even touch it, not even gonna go back to the barber. I'm gonna just grow my hair back out. And I ended up never even cutting it ever again. That's pretty much why I did start, you know, growing my hair out. Like, that's really actually why. And that's funny that you asked that, and I'm glad that you asked that. I feel like I wanted to actually like mention that to somebody because not too many people actually asked me that question, so that was good. Okay, so as far as inspiration, I think just, even though that was the initial reason, I still feel like I would have probably wanted to grow my hair out regardless. I probably would have still had the interest of like the whole natural hair thing, being that it really is like something that I really, you know, have a lot of interest in. It's kind of hard to think about because I really did start growing it out because of that reason. So as far as inspiration goes, I think the inspiration kicks in when you kind of see progress. The progress makes your thing kind of like kick in, you know what I mean? Like when I began to see my hair growing and growing and growing, and then I was able to do more styles, and I was able to do like 2-strand twists like this and braids, and start being able to wear my hair higher at school and stuff like that. That was, I don't know, that was like, I guess that's little inspiration for me. If you really want to just grow your hair out though, like just grow it out. But also keep in mind that, you know, you want to make sure you're maintaining it the best way you can. So yeah, that's pretty much all I would have to say about that. All right, next question. When did you start to seriously take care of your hair and skin? My hair, I started to take more seriously during sophomore to junior year of high school. I started to take my hair more seriously. As far as my skin, I started to take more seriously maybe a couple years back. I started to look up a lot of things of how to take care of your skin. I like to use natural stuff as well as like formulated products from like brands and pharmaceutical brands and stuff like that. So yeah. Next question. Been following you for long, bruh. Oh, been following you for, I think that's what he meant to say. Been following you for long, bruh. I want to grow my hair like yours. Thank you. Okay, so you want to grow your hair like mine? I think you should pretty much just keep following me, keep watching me, and just keep going along with the journey. And you will eventually see me doing more stuff with my hair. Right now, I don't really do too many things on my channel. When I really want to really get into it like how I want to, I think I'm really gonna take it there soon. I'm claiming it. Okay, so the next one says beard care tips. Beard care tips, I would say as far as like anything with like shaving, especially being a black person, sometimes it could be difficult to shave around your beard without getting razor bumps. I would recommend that you guys invest in something that has salicylic acid in it, whether it's like a cleanser or some kind of moisturizer or anything like that. I would say that that's something that will really help with the prevention of ingrown hairs. You would probably just wash off the area after you shave the area. That's what I do whenever I trim the hairs on my face. I'll just use a salicylic acid cleanser. I usually don't even use anything that cuts actually to the skin. I like to use trimmers, so I would use what is called a micro touch. I really like that product because it's a trimmer, so it doesn't cut to the skin, it cuts the hair instead. The cut's pretty close. It's not like it'll be that noticeable. It is nice to have a clean, smooth, clean slate skin, but honestly, I rather just use a trimmer just so I don't have to deal with the possibility of getting an ingrown hair or like a razor bump or anything like that. When I used to get them, I would get them like under my my neck area. I really didn't get too many of them because I never was a person that shaved my face that much. But when I did get them, I would get some marks and stuff like that. That's another thing. And I do have one up there that the mark kind of went away a little bit, but I think there's one right there. I'm about to show y'all. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I think there's one right there that never really, it actually faded like a good amount, but it kind of raised up the skin from it. So that's pretty much one of the reasons why I wouldn't, do the shaving thing. I used to also get razor bumps like right here and like right here, because I would try to take the razor and kind of just like, clean up around these areas. Yeah, I don't use those anymore. I just use trimmers because the trimmers are pretty much more convenient for me, and I don't have to deal with like cutting myself. If you do go a little close, you might get like a little nick, but it's not really gonna be anything too severe. So yeah, that's one thing that I would suggest that you guys do. As far as like moisturization, there's a lot of things that you can put inside of your beard. Like literally sometimes if I don't have a specific beard product, and I don't really use beard products like that, but I do have some. I don't really own many though. I like to use the products that I already use in my hair. So I would use something like a shea butter, or like if I'm not able to grab a shea butter or oil or something like that, I literally just use some body lotion. The body lotions that I use on my body, or like a facial moisturizer, I'll just kind of just put that in there. As far as like the steps to your beard routine, you could probably use some water, spray it with some water, or if you're washing your face already, kind of just wet your beard, and then you can put oils in there. Moisturizers like lotions or actual beard conditioners, if they have that. I'm pretty sure something like that exists. And shea butter. Shea butter is a nice product that I like to use on my face and also my beard. It's good for the body, it's good for the hair. Like I like shea butter a lot, so I would like to use like shea butter in my beard, and sometimes I'll mix it up with coconut oil. It really just depends. I also like hyaluronic acid. That's a nice thing to put on your skin, but also in the hair as well. I've gotten certain hyaluronic acid serums and I'll use them on my face, but whenever I'll get the idea, I'll just like hydrate my beard with water, and then I'll just drop in a couple hyaluronic acid drops. I know I used to use washcloth, and I would like dampen it or wet it, kind of wring it out a bit, and then I'll throw it in the microwave, and then I'll just like let it kind of just sit there and heat up. And I would take it and I'll kind of just like fold it up and just kind of compress it up against the hair on my face, on my beard. Not necessarily like put it on my face, but more so just focus on like the hair, and then that allows the product to help penetrate the hair and, you know, help keep it moisturized, or help the moisture kind of just like really just get in there. So yeah, I like to do that. If you don't have a hyaluronic acid serum, I think that's an effective way to kind of allow moisture to get inside of your beard. Or if you really want to, you could do it like that regardless. Like, all right, so here's the next one. A video on what you eat in a day and any herbs you may take for health, etc. I would like to make a video like that actually. I like food stuff. So as far as any herbs is concerned, I've never really looked into things like that. I like to see about things with like nutrition, and like if it has any benefits to it, like maybe if it has some type of vitamin or nutrients. I like learning about stuff like that, and I like knowing if certain vegetables or fruits have those properties, so I'm able to kind of keep a little ticket in my head. So if I'm eating it and if it has like vitamin C or something like that, I could just kind of know and kind of just have that idea in my head. But I like being health conscious though. It's been a thing that I've been really working on, especially like recently. So yeah. Okay, so the next one says, if you could only use Cantu products for the rest of your life, would you? And I think they meant to say, would you cut your hair short? Because it's kind of combined. But if I could only use Cantu products for the rest of my life, would I? I don't think so. I used to use Cantu products when I first started doing my natural hair, or when my hair was growing out more longer. I used to really like their shampoo because it foams up really nice, and I'm like kind of a fan of foaming shampoos. I don't know, I just really like ones that do that for some reason. I'm not sure if I'm the only person that feels like that, but I know I'm not. So for the part where it says, would you cut your hair short? I think I would want to cut my hair short when I get a little older, because I feel like if I'm of age, or I'm already of age, but once I get to a certain age, I feel like I would want to cut it down some and maybe just rock a shorter afro or something like that. Because at one point in time, I do feel like the longer hair might not necessarily be for me, but I'm not too sure because it might not be, you know, as I expect it to look. But I think when I get older, I think I might cut it shorter, or at least I have that idea that I might cut it shorter when I get older. If I do end up liking it, I probably would just keep it long. But right now, that idea, I feel like I would cut my hair if I, you know, had the choice. So yeah. Next question. What do you use to twist your hair like that? I'm gonna show y'all right now. I wash my hair and then I kind of just use this Taraji P. Henson leave-in conditioner. I really like it actually. It's a nice little conditioner. This one was something that I put on top of it to kind of keep the frizz down after I did them, because I didn't really put, you know, as much product as I wanted to, because it's a kind of a small bottle and I'm kind of already out mostly from that time of me, you know, using it in my hair, because I do have like a lot of hair to work with, and I do like to use a good amount of product so that I don't have to keep re-moisturizing like my hair, because I think it's better in order to use like more product rather than to use less and then have to keep maintaining it with more product if you could just put more product in the beginning. And then even then my hair kind of just like loses that product, so then I still have to you know, put more product. So either way I'd have to put product. So I'd rather put more product in the beginning just to make the natural hairstyle kind of just last a little bit better, if that makes any sense. I use this to kind of put on the surface of my hair, and I kind of put some like on the side like that to kind of keep the frizz down. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good product though. I'm gonna rebuy this actually. This was actually not even mine. My sister had left this at my house, so I just used it just because it was here. It's by ORS. It's an olive oil mousse and it's infused with coconut oil. Yeah, it did a really good job at kind of keeping down the frizz. I also like to do something where I put something on top, something that's smooth in texture. I put it on top and then I'll kind of just move the blow dryer in a motion like that, so it can kind of like help it stay down and dry. So yeah, that's something that I like to do. All right, so the next question says, I've been growing out my hair for about a year. It's growing, but different parts of my hair are uneven. I actually did have this same issue, and I'm currently trying to even out my hair. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna just turn around for y'all. All right, so I'm not sure if you guys are able to tell, but I think you can tell that these hairs are like the longer ones, but these hairs are the ones that are kind of shorter, like the ones that at my nape. Yeah, I think y'all be able to see it. These hairs are like the hairs that are kind of shorter, and they're actually entwined with the twist. So you might not even be able to tell how short they are, but there's a part at the lower nape that is shorter than the other parts. It's not really much of a problem that much anymore for me, because I'm trying to even it out every time I trim it. So every time I trim it, I'm pretty much trying to bring it back up to that level without neglecting the trim. So I kind of trim off less than I should, but then again, I do trim off a good amount of the longer hairs as well. So I try to make it even out, and every time I trim, I try to do the same thing so I can kind of have a more round afro whenever I get to wear my afro. Because there's this one point in time where I was growing my hair out and I went to a barber, and there were times where I used to like blow dry my hair out. So at that one point in time, I had my hair somewhat blown out, but it kind of was reverting back to its natural state. So by the time I went to the barber, it was kind of reverting at the roots, but the outside parts were more stringly. like, or stringy and like stretched out because it was blown out already from me blowing it out. So I used to like blow my hair out a lot when I was younger because I didn't really know how to style the hair without it being blown out. But now I kind of just do it with it hydrated with water, and then I kind of just go in and pick it out accordingly. But that time specifically, I was using a blow dryer. I didn't want to deal with tangling of my hair. Even though it would eventually get tangled, it would get tangled a little bit less frequently because it was somewhat blown out. So yeah, my hair was pretty much reverting back at the roots, but by the time I went to the barber, I think it might have been a little bit difficult in order for him to see where my hair was even at. He kind of just like took the clippers and kind of just like cut around where my hair was, so it almost seemed like my hair was even, but it really just wasn't because different parts were scrunched up and different parts were also like elongated. So pretty much the barber didn't have a pick, and I didn't even have my own at the time. He asked me for if I had a pick, and he's like, oh yeah, you should always carry your pick. But I'm just like, all right, but you're cutting my hair right now and you don't have one either, so what's going on? But he pretty much wasn't even at the actual shop. I was so young, I went to someone's house, and he kind of just like cut it in his like kitchen. But yeah, that's what happened, and like it pretty much made my hair like pretty uneven. And even like I tried to go home and cut certain sections, I wasn't even cutting it with the proper scissors. I was cutting it with like some home scissors or like some paper scissors or something like that, and I was just like cutting at the uneven areas where I saw. I'll try my best to kind of make it look as even as it could, but it didn't really look that bad at the time, even though I kind of thought it did look a little bad. But now that I look back, it didn't look too bad, but it was a little funny looking. I do remember, but pretty much all it was like a short afro, but there were still areas where my hair was short. Like I had to get used to my hair for a while. I had to deal with my hair being like a lot longer in the front, and every single time I would trim my hair, I would have to see where it evened up at, and I would have to cut off that so it could kind of match up more with like the hair on the rest of my head. For a long time, this part of my hair was a lot longer than the rest of the hair on my head, but now it's not as uneven. But I think I still have a little bit of evening out to do, like for the next time I trim it, but it's getting a lot better though. So I think my tip on that ultimately is to start getting trims, or start to maybe even try to learn how to trim your hair your own self. I have a video on how I trim my own hair. I think I would check that out and see how it works for you, because I know that some people might not be able to adapt to that so fast, because I kind of had to adapt to that as well. I wasn't able to do a lot of stuff with my hair, like trim it and stuff like that, but I had to like look up a lot of like YouTube videos on how to trim, and I used to have to search for ones that made the most sense to me, because there were certain techniques that people use to trim, and I felt like that would actually make the situation that I already had a little bit worse. So I think I had to really just weigh out the best option for myself in order to trim it the best way that I felt like would actually benefit my hair. So I think you should try to like either go to a natural hairstylist or someone who kind of specializes in textures that match yours. So you could probably try to reach out to one, or maybe ask somebody, or if you see one on, I know like Instagram has like a lot of people that specialize in like natural hairstyles and natural hair textures and curl patterns and stuff like that. I know that there's some out there, so that's just something that you can just try to look into. I don't think I'd suggest that you go to a barber and get it trimmed or cut down, because most of the time barbers tend to use things like clippers to do that. I know that barbers also use scissors, but I'm not sure if you'd be able to depend on it as much as a hairstylist or a hairdresser that actually specializes in kind of like elongating it for you and kind of just trimming it accordingly. That's what I would recommend for you to look into. And if you couldn't do that, I'd probably just recommend you to just search up how to trim your hair and kind of just search up a technique or a way of doing it. Probably just search up a way that you would want your hair to be trimmed and then just go with that way. That's what I would suggest. All right, next question. What do you do internally for skin/hair care, like foods and drinks that help you flourish? All right. I guess you could say, I feel like a lot of the things that I eat on a regular would actually benefit my hair in general. I don't necessarily eat the things because of the hair care. As far as the hair care is concerned, I don't really know of too many products that actually benefit your hair health other than collagen. Collagen is one of the things that I like to eat, not necessarily on a regular basis, but I do have products that have collagen in them. I like to eat bone broth. It's really good for the bones. It's also nice to use for the stomach. It's also nice for your skin as well. So that's another reason why I like to incorporate it in my diet. But I don't really incorporate it in my diet just for my skin or my hair or simply one thing. I kind of just know that it's a healthy thing, so I kind of like to incorporate it. I also like to sometimes put collagen powders into my smoothies, or I know that you can also use it to bake inside of certain recipes. I have used collagen in like a baked oats recipe that I tried one time before. Sometimes I actually do use bone broth into my smoothies. The bone broth that I use specifically is an unsalted bone broth, and it pretty much just has vegetables and like apple cider vinegar in it, but that's pretty much all it has. It doesn't have any like seasonings or anything like that. So that's the kind of bone broth that I would recommend to use into like a smoothie. But I know everyone wouldn't really want to ideally put that into their smoothie, but I don't really mind because I know it doesn't have that much of a taste in order for me to, you know, notice that much in my smoothie. So I kind of just throw it in there sometimes to kind of just get the collagen. But you can also use collagen powders. But yeah, that's pretty much what I would do as far as eating things that kind of benefit my hair and skin. I also like to eat things that have vitamin C and antioxidants. I like to eat oranges. I like to use lemons in my water sometimes. I think strawberries are good for antioxidants, berries in general, blueberries, things like spinach. I like to eat spinach for the antioxidants. Well, I don't really eat it for the I don't really eat it for the benefits. I just kind of eat it because I want to just eat things that are, you know, just things that you can eat, I guess. I'm not really eating it necessarily for the antioxidants, but I do like the fact that they have benefits to them. So that's something that, you know, I keep in mind whenever I'm eating something, or if I buy something that kind of just has benefits to it already and I want to make a nice recipe or something that kind of just goes with it. I'm all for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, drinking water, stuff like that. I know water is really good for your health in general. So the next question says, what's your bedtime and morning hair routine, especially with twists? So for the bedtime, if I'm wearing my hair out in an afro, I would like to put something like a bonnet over it. Or if I don't have a bonnet, before when I didn't own like things like bonnets, I used to use plastic bags, and I would pretty much just put the plastic bag over it and I would tie it at the hairline. And I'd have to find like a nice oversized plastic bag in order for it to kind of fit around the hair. Because when I wear my hair out in an afro, I usually like to have it, you know, high. So I used to have to find a bag that would kind of like fit over it and kind of just like tie it. Or sometimes I would have to like expand it a little bit in order for it to fit around it. And I would just tie it on there, and I would have it on there for like the nighttime until I wake up in the morning. And then I would just like kind of just like adjust it accordingly, spray it with whatever water I needed to, and then I'll just be on my merry way. Something that I also do if I was to wear my hair out in an afro, before I went to bed, I would take my hair and I would split it into 4 sections like that. And then I would pretty much twist the sections up accordingly. So after I sectioned it, I'd probably put a plastic bag over it and just tie it over at the hairline behind my ears, just so it doesn't fall and, you know, stuff like that. I would just like sleep in that. And then when I get up in the morning, most of the time, if I would have done that with my hair, I wasn't immediately wearing my hair the next day. Not all the time is that necessarily the case, but most of the time I would have done that if it was over a weekend time period and I wasn't gonna be out anywhere. So I probably just keep my hair like that throughout the weekend, and then maybe I would pick it out when I would have to wear it on a Monday or something like that. That's probably one of the times that I would actually find that to be more convenient for me. So yeah, that's something that I used to do, but I definitely don't do that as often as I used to. I used to do that way more often. Now I mostly just, well, ideally I would like to cover my hair every night, but being that I don't always stick to it, I do forget sometimes. And like sometimes when I feel like it's already kind of just not really maintained, or if I'm like kind of neglecting it, I'll probably just keep on sleeping on it the same until it kind of just goes to a point where I have to wash it again and restart it all over again. But ideally I do like to cover it up at night and keep it covered. So for the morning, pretty much the afro routine, I do have a video that I kind of did a hair tutorial on how I do my afros. I will link that down below. That's pretty much what I would do for the morning routine. As far as twist is concerned, I would like to use something like this, like a do-rag, to kind of just, you know, sleep on during the nighttime. And then also I would like to put on it kind of looks a little funny, but that's pretty much what I would do. I don't really use do-rags too often, but I usually only use them whenever I have like cornrows, because that's usually when I'm actually able to pull off the do-rag without it looking too bulky, which it kind of looks right now. But the fact that I'm using it at the nighttime, I usually don't even really mind that much. You could just use it just like this, and then like you probably would want to do this, and then you can tie it in the back. It don't gotta be one that looks fancy color like this. It could be a nice black polyester one if you think that that will be fine. I think this is polyester too, if I'm not mistaken, but it might be silk, but I'm not too sure. But it feels like silk though. But I would just kind of just like tie it like that, not too tight. I'll tie it loosely, and I'll kind of just like let them fall behind that strap. Kind of just wear it like that. I don't know if y'all can see it. It really don't even look, it don't even gotta look like that neat or nothing. I just kind of just do it like that. And then ideally I like to sleep on a sleep. I like to sleep on a sleep. I like to sleep on a silk pillowcase, just in case the do-rag falls off in the nighttime. Or if you want to, you can probably like put a bonnet over the top of it. So, you know, you can, you know, make sure your hair doesn't, you know, fall out of the, out of its like cover. We just have to like freshen it up in the morning. Whenever you get up in the morning, you might have to just like freshen them up either way and spray them with like some water. So I usually like to spray mine with water in the morning, or if I get into the shower, I would put on this, I have like a, I think it's for like dreadlocks, but like it's like one of those things that you kind of just like throw over your hair, but like I put it on my hair and I kind of just like fold it just so I could have only my hair. You could kind of like let the steam hit it, or like maybe just let some droplets of water hit it, because you probably don't want to drench it in water, but it does help to refresh your twists when they're kind of fuzzy and not really looking like the way you want them to look, especially like when you kind of find yourself going into like the later time of your twist being worn. It gets fuzzy and it starts to get frizzy and stuff, so like sometimes the steam will help with that. It'll probably be nice for you to get something like a mousse, just like this one that I showed you earlier, or just pretty much any kind of mousse that you like, and kind of just fix up wherever the frizz is at. You know, sometimes frizzy twists look nice depending on what kind of look you really want to go for. But on days where you kind of just want it to look more intact, you could just throw that on top and it should make the twist look a little bit more intact. And sometimes if there's a twist that kind of looks like a little too out of it, or if the if the roots are kind of unraveling for you. I know today I had to retouch up this one, so I kind of just took out the whole twist and then I kind of just retwisted it back again. Sometimes you might have to do that. That's pretty much all I would say I do for like my bedtime and morning time routine for my twists. So the next question, which is also the last question, last but not least, it says, how do I grow my hair like yours, and how long did it take for your hair to get like that? Okay, how I'd answer that is maybe you can try to keep up with my videos that I'll be posting soon. Maybe watch the ones that that I posted prior to this if you haven't seen them already, to kind of just try to get like a idea or a picture of how you can do your hair for yourself. The basics are pretty much simple. Whenever it comes to moisturizing your hair and doing things that help your hair keep its maintenance. So you could try to do like braids or something like that to kind of keep your hair maintained throughout a time period, so your hair can begin to grow and you don't really have to do too much with it because your hair is pretty much tucked away and it's just doing its thing. So I think that's one way that you can help your hair to grow, as well as not just neglecting it. Even though it can be in a style where your hair is braided or twisted, it's really good to keep your hair oiled and sometimes keep it like hydrated with water to really make sure that your hair or your scalp is pretty much getting the treatment that it should be in order for your hair to kind of come out of the scalp properly, if that makes any sense. Because your scalp is where your hair is coming from, so like you really want to treat your scalp the best you can, as well as being like, you know, being kind to your scalp. You know, if the style is too tight, you know, maybe you can do something that will kind of relieve your pain, or if it's itching, you can use things like tea tree oil to kind of like calm down the itching. Making sure to like cleanse your scalp properly. Cleansing it twice when you're washing it is a good way to go about washing your hair. That's the way I like to wash my hair. I think being patient as well. Patience is a really important thing that I had to adapt to. It's always something that I always tell anybody who asks me that question. It's really good to just be patient about the journey of your hair, and you know, just be patient with, you know, how long it can take to grow. I know you might anticipate for the day that your hair is like flourished and like lengthy. Honestly, I could say that I felt like I was pretty patient about it, even though there were times where I wanted my hair to be at a certain length already and it didn't seem like I was really getting anywhere. But it really helps to do protective styles and do twists, because that's something that I really use. That's something that I would recommend. And just be patient and just be kind to yourself and be kind to your hair. There's also a different part of your question. Hold on. How long did it take for your hair to get like that? It's pretty much, I want to say it's been about 11 to 12 years that my hair has been growing out. But I did cut it down once, but it was only that one time where I kind of got into that little riff with the barber, but growing like off the surface of my scalp since like 11 to 12 years. So that's pretty much the journey that I've been going on for that long amount of time. It sounds so funny to me, like the fact that it's been 11 to 12 years, but I don't know. That's just, it is what it is. But yeah, that's all the questions that I have for this question session. Ooh, that was nice. Nah, that was nice. That was nice. But yeah, this question session, that's all the questions that I have. I really appreciate you guys for participating in my little Q&A type of feel that I was trying to get for y'all. I really do appreciate it, and I really do thank you guys for subscribing and following me along this path to try to just express myself, and I want to do it like with y'all with me. So I just want to thank you guys for subscribing, for supporting me, for supporting the channel, commenting, for asking questions, all that stuff. I really want to thank y'all because I really wanted to have, a channel for like a long time. And when I was like kind of like going through high school and school in general, I was always trying to find different people or different like hairstyles to try out with my hair and stuff like that, but I could never find guys that were doing it. But I'm really glad that there's guys and younger boys that are as enthusiastic about the stuff that I wanted to figure out as well. So I think that's really a cool thing, and it's like an inspiring thing. I'm really interested in natural hair. I've always been really interested in that kind of target. So that's something that I would really like to take off with this channel. I really want to do more natural hair stuff for you guys. I'm really thankful, and I really thank you guys for watching this video. And yeah, that calls for the end of this video. So if you like this video, or if at any point you found it helpful, or if I answer one of your questions, probably just comment back to me under this video. So just feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.